Hi everyone, Lord Crew here and welcome to my channel. So the topic for today is about Magic Meta for Weekend Rank Week 130. So without further guys, let's proceed. So as you can see, Magic is currently on the rank 5 or second to the lowest win rate based on the Geo deck. And uh if you compare in terms of popularity, he's currently rank 4. There's like a big increase of like deception players compared now with Magic. And uh overall the Magic based on the weekend rank are like below 50%. But as you can notice, if we compare with the archetype guys, um Magic is currently, especially the card draw Magic archetype or the tempo Magic. Technically, this is the tempo Magic that we seen are literally the third most highest win rate. If we compare that one with the board wipe deck and the beefy war, card draw or the tempo Magic is the third one, having like a 50%. Even though like the popularity, it's slightly bigger than the war control or the beefy war. Increase of like almost increase of 2%. And if we can compare with the like the overall statistic of this one, if we compare uh for the Magic, Magic has like a good win rate versus board vibe deck and even with the war control, but he has like having difficulty winning versus one of the most popular deck like the Wild and or the Regen Zoo and even like the Zoo Light. So as you can notice, if we go back here, guys, if you really want to dominate on the weekend rack or to have high chance of win, you must have like your deck should have like a good win rate versus war and nature, because total of if you have like a positive or more than 50% win rate between war and nature, you're literally like having a win rate. Imagine like nature and war combined is it's like 15 games out of 25. And imagine if you have like a good win rate there, you already have like a 15 wins out of 25. And that's the sad part about the Magic. Is that like he's good between the two most powerful archetype, which is only like if we combine that archetype, guys, it's just only like around like 8%. Where Wild Zoo, so if we compare like even in Wild Zoo, if we compare that one in Wild Zoo, oh no, if we compare that to all, Wild Zoo is like 20%. Okay, he has like good win rate combining between board wipe and war control, but he has like having uh, low 50% chance of winning on the Wild Zoo, which is like total of 20% of the meta in the weekend round. Now, good news if we do a net decking of the Tempo Magic. Uh, if we compare that one, so in the top 20 guys, we have like three players playing a Magic or card draw or a Tempo Magic entered the top 20. So the first one will be 7986. He managed to get 23 out of 25. Next will be the unknown player, rank 7, 23 out of 25. And rank 17, Oling OX, which 22 out of right. So if we're gonna do a net deck and compare, if you want to try this to the next weekend rank, so if we go for rank 4 card draw, this is like typically a one of the tempo aggro. Uh, there are like two types of archetypes in terms of tempo. One is I call it tempo aggro. Second one will be the tempo spell boost. So what's the difference between the two? Let's discuss the tempo aggro. Tempo aggro is like literally using spells to do a board control or even also do a, damage to the opponent. But literally, they're relying on early aggressive minions, especially Oni spell sword, to deal more massive damage, guys. And as you can see, he's relying on his spell sword, early aggressive creature like flying carpet, assistant, and then control the board with spells, or maybe later use spells and creature at the same time to kill the opponent. Okay, and if we check what's the and why they call it card draw, simple, because like I mentioned on my tempo spell boost, the main reason why Magic are super getting popular and also getting highest win rate, it's not because of the spells or the creature, it's because of the card draw ability. You are high chance if you have those cards, you might not run out of cards in your hand, like Palace One, Vortimir the Volatile, and All Seeing Eye. So technically, if you see these four cards in the deck, they consider already a card draw archetype, or some players still call it tempo magic. So this is like a tempo aggressive because they're relying on creatures like especially Oni Spell Sword, Flying Carpet for early board damage or final damage. And actually, the biggest spells are the Wind Breath, only deals 5, and there's no other spell boost except for Street Conjurer here. Okay, so if we compare that one with rank 7, another card draw. This is like literally also a tempo aggro, relying on creature to control the board and damage. Oni spell sword. There's no flying carpet, but he's using skeleton heavy, so he relying more on the more health rather than the ward of the flying carpet. Flying carpet is a bit expensive, so I think this is like a little bit like a budget. But as you can see, he has no Palace One, and he's relying on Vortimir and Olsingai. So this is like a little bit budget, but form of power and ancient texts are very expensive now, guys. Compare. He's using Wyrmbreath and Monolith, uh, and only spell sword to do a little damage at the end. Now, if we compare with another one, rank 17 by Owling OX. I believe Owling OX entered the top. Let me check if he entered last week, top 20. No, probably the previous one before, not last week. So same still, aggressive like an aggro one, skeleton heavy, almost similar with the rank 7, almost similar. It's just like the Owling has the Iron Tooth Goblin instead of like Vanguard Axewoman. So this is like a little bit cheaper compared with Owling, guys. So this is like literally a creature heavy at the start to do board control and early damage, and then finish the opponent later on using Wind Breath or Monolith of Storms. Now there's like I mentioned before, there's like another archetype like like popularized long before, like probably last year, December or like early January this year, are the spell boost tempo. So same, instead of like winning using Oni spell sword or early creature to attack, it's literally more on control using spells and kill your opponent using spells by boosting the spell. So this was like literally popularized by TBH. TBH was consecutively in the past like entering the top 20 using this kind of build. As you can see, there's like already 1,882 overall matches playing this kind of deck. And as you can see, he has like 2 Epiphany, Wyrmbreath, no Oni Spell Sword, and no Flying Carpet, no early aggressions. Just like Assistant Alchemists are good to lower the cast of your big spells, especially late game, or lower your spells, especially on the early round. So make example, Asian Tech become 0 casting cost, and as you can see, this is like more relying on spell boosts like Ball Lightning, Scepter of Artistry, uh, to increase your spell damage later on. So imagine Epiphany with Lightning and Scepter of Artistry, it might deals you right like around like 10 damage, 10 or 9 damage in one single turn, then follow it again by next. So this is not like a one-time kill spell deck. It's it's literally board control using spell, and then turn by turn you gonna deals massive spell damage until your opponent have 0. So maybe for now deals 8 damage, and next turn 8 damage more to kill your opponent. Monolith, so his typical lethal for to kill your opponent. Wimbreath, Monolith, Epiphany, or some of your early spells like Ancient Text, Form of Power, as long as you manage to do a Scepter of Artistry. So Scepter is one of the key card here to deals more to boost your spell. And even Monolith to deals additional ability damage here. Every time you cast spell, you add +2 strength. So this is like the two archetype currently now for the card draw. Aggressive and versus spell boost. So the aggro one are getting popularized because one thing I noticed, guys, the spell boost, like so one of the weakness that I noticed when I played this tempo or card draw is they have like difficulty doing an a they uh controlling the board, especially if your opponent has lots of creatures, especially if you're playing against nature. Nature can have like Babefly and Falling Star to literally flood the board in just one turn. And the sad part about the tempo, they're only relying on Tracking Bolt to do an AoE. As you can notice, there's no other AoE spells here. Tracking Bolt is only deals one, and they have to rely uh for a spell boost to do a deals two damage to kill to clean your opponent's board. And that's the main reason for probably if we go back to the archetype for Magic, they have like low win rate between these two popular Wild and Zoo Nature because this deck has like Bladefly and Bladefly, Bladefly and Bladefly and Falling Star, and even Zoolite, guys. Zoolite, he even has lower win rate between Zoolite because Zoolite literally flood the board early and boost his health. So the Zoo is getting more health, and that's the problem with Tempo Magic. They're relying on one into one spells to kill one creature, and they don't have like AoE. So guys, if you like the video, kindly please subscribe and like. And if you have like comment or suggestion, kindly please leave me a comment. And see you next week. And thank you for watching. Bye.
There's a distance between us,